Welcome to FootHold, the foot and ankle exercise program which helps you to prevent falls from the ground up. This DVD demonstrates each of the foot and ankle exercises included in the program. Before we begin, you will need the following pieces of equipment: a sturdy table and chair, resistance exercise bands provided by your therapist, marbles and a cup or mug to put them in, a large rubber band, an arch exerciser device. This is optional, so don't worry if your therapist hasn't provided you with this. A footgym device. This is also optional, so don't worry if your therapist hasn't provided you with this. The first exercise is ankle circling. Sit comfortably in a chair with both feet on the ground. Lift one foot off the ground and hold it up in the air. Using slow and gentle movements, rotate the ankle and circle the foot in a clockwise direction. Use your ankle to make as large a circle as possible. Repeat 10 circles in a clockwise direction, then place the foot down to rest on the ground. Now, lift the other foot off the ground and hold it in the air. Repeat the clockwise circles using this foot. Remember to use slow and gentle movements. Also, remember to use your ankle to make the circles as large as possible. After 10 clockwise circles, place the foot on the ground. Lift the first foot off the ground again and hold it in the air. This time, rotate the ankle and circle the foot in an anti-clockwise direction. Complete 10 circles in an anti-clockwise direction using slow and gentle movements. Also, use the ankle to make as large a circle as possible, then place the foot down on the ground. Lift the second foot off the ground again and complete 10 anti-clockwise circles using this foot. Again, use slow and gentle movements and use the ankle to make as large a circle as possible. After completing 10 anti-clockwise circles, place the foot down on the ground to rest. This is the end of the first exercise. You should have performed 10 ankle circles in a clockwise direction on each foot, then 10 ankle circles in an anti-clockwise direction on each foot. The next exercise involves the coloured resistance exercise bands. First, you need to tie it around a sturdy table leg. Hold the double-looped exercise band horizontal to the table leg with the knotted end pointing away from the table. Loop the knotted end over the smooth end. Pull the smooth end through and tighten the exercise band around the table leg to ensure that it is secure. You can now use the exercise bands to perform the ankle strengthening exercises. The first exercise is ankle inversion or turning in. Place the chair side arm to the table, just behind where the exercise band is attached to the table, and sit in the chair with your feet flat on the ground. Loop the free end of the exercise band around your foot that is closest to the table. The loop of the exercise band should be around your foot at the level of the base of your toes. Pull your foot away from the table until the band is taut, and, keeping your heel on the floor, use your foot to pull on the exercise band by slowly turning your foot away from the table leg. We will now do the ankle eversion or turning out exercise. Loop the exercise band around the outside of the other foot at the level of the base of the toes. Pull the foot away from the table until the band is taut. This time, use the outside of your foot to pull the exercise band by slowly turning the foot away from the table, and finish with the sole of your foot off the ground facing away from the table leg. Slowly return the foot back to flat on the ground. You have now completed the ankle turning in and turning out exercises. You should have completed 3 sets of 10 repetitions of turning in and turning out on each foot. Finish 3 sets of turning the foot in before changing to 3 sets of turning out the other foot. Remember to have a 20 to 30 second rest between each set of 10 repetitions. When you have finished the turning in and turning out exercises on one side, turn your chair around so you can repeat the movements on the opposite foot. The next exercise is ankle dorsiflexion or toe-up exercise. Sit comfortably in the chair with both feet flat on the ground. Keeping your heels on the floor, lift your toes on both feet off the ground as high as you can and hold for 10 seconds. After 10 seconds, put your feet back down on the ground. Have a rest for about 10 or 20 seconds and then lift your feet up again as high as you can for another 10 seconds, again keeping your heels on the floor. After the 10 seconds, put your feet down on the ground. Have another rest and then lift your feet again for a third time for another 10 seconds. After that 10 seconds, put your feet back down on the ground and you've completed the exercise. This is the end of the ankle exercises. Start with 3 repetitions of holding your toes up for 10 seconds each time. If you can do 3 repetitions without difficulty or muscle soreness the next day, increase by 1 repetition to 4 repetitions of 10 each time. As you feel comfortable, keep increasing the number of repetitions by 1, but do not exceed a maximum of 10 repetitions of 10 seconds. It does not matter if you never get to 10 repetitions. You only need to do 1 set of this exercise. We are now going to perform some toe strengthening exercises. The first exercise involves picking up some marbles with your toes. Sit comfortably on a chair and place 20 marbles on the floor and an empty container by the side. Use your toes to pick up a marble off the floor and drop it into the container. Keep picking up the marbles with your toes until all 20 marbles have been picked up and dropped into the container. Tip out the marbles onto the floor and repeat the exercise with the other foot. If you have difficulty with picking up all 20 marbles with your toes, just pick up as many or as few as you are able. Try and pick up 20 marbles 2 times with each foot. You have now completed the marble exercises. You should have completed 2 sets of picking up 20, or as many marbles as you can, on each foot. You can use both the big toes and the little toes to pick up the marbles. If you have difficulty gripping the marbles with your toes, just try your best and pick up as many marbles as you can. As your toes get stronger, you will find you are able to pick up more marbles. When you're finished, be careful to make sure you've picked up all of the marbles off the floor. The next toe strengthening exercise uses the arch exerciser device. This is optional, so if your therapist hasn't provided you with this device, just skip to the toe stretching exercise with the rubber band. Sit in a chair with your feet on the ground and the arch exerciser placed close to your right foot. Position your foot on the arch exerciser with the heel on the grey pad and the toes over the plastic slider. Grip the slider with your toes and pull it back towards the heel by arching the middle of your foot. Pull the slider as far back as possible, then slowly release it by relaxing your foot. Just allow the heel to slide backwards or lift off the grey pad. You have now completed the toe strengthening exercises using the arch exerciser. You should have done 3 sets of 10 repetitions on each foot. The next toe strengthening exercise uses a new device called the footgym. This is also optional, so if your therapist hasn't provided you with this device, just skip to the toe stretching exercise with the rubber band. To use the footgym, place your heel on the back of the device and curl your toes over the resistance band. Make sure you use the color your therapist advised you to. Now, grip the band with your toes and pull it back slowly, repeating the exercise 10 times. Start with the yellow resistance band and do 3 sets of 10 repetitions on each foot. As you get stronger, move to the green band and then the red band. We will now use the rubber band to do a big toe stretching exercise. Sit comfortably in a chair with both feet flat on the ground. Carefully bend over and loop the rubber band provided around both your big toes. Slide one foot away from the other until you feel a comfortable stretch in your big toes from the rubber band. Keep both feet on the ground and hold the stretch in the big toes for 20 seconds. Remember to keep the feet relaxed and flat on the ground during the stretch. We've now completed the big toe stretch exercise. Do 1 set of 3 repetitions, holding for 20 seconds each time. We will now do the standing exercises, involving strengthening and stretching the calf muscle. The first exercise involves rising up onto your toes. Stand in front of a wall, with your hands on the wall for balance and your feet flat on the ground at a comfortable distance apart. Slowly rise up as high as you can on your toes and then lower yourself slowly back to the ground. Repeat the exercise of going up and down on your toes 10 times. Have a 30-second rest and then do another set of 10 raising up and down on your toes. Have another 30-second rest and then go up and down on your toes another 10 times. You've now completed the ankle strengthening exercise. You should have completed 3 sets of 10 repetitions of going up and down on your toes with a 30-second rest between each set of 10 raises. Once you can complete all 3 sets of 10 repetitions without any difficulty and have no muscle soreness or stiffness the next day, increase the number of repetitions in each set by 2. So you'll then do 3 sets of going up and down on your toes 12 times. As you feel capable, keep increasing the number of repetitions by 2. If you can get up to 50 repetitions, do not increase the number anymore. And do not worry if you cannot get up to 50. Just do as many repetitions as you are comfortable with. Never increase the number of repetitions by more than 2 at any one time. After all that hard work of going up and down, your calf muscles will need a good stretch. Standing as you were after the heel-raising exercise with your hands on the wall and your feet at shoulders width apart, place 1 foot backwards, about a step length. Keep your hips, knees and toes pointing forwards and square to the wall at all times. Keeping the back leg straight, slowly bend the front knee and lean towards the wall until you feel a stretch in the calf muscle at the back of your leg. Once you feel a medium strong stretch in the back of the leg, do not lean any further forward, but hold the stretch there for 20 seconds. After 20 seconds, relax and lean back for a brief 5-second rest before leaning forwards again to repeat the stretch for another 20 seconds. After 20 seconds, lean back again for another 5-second break before repeating the stretch for a third set of 20 seconds. If you cannot feel a stretch in the back of the leg, move your foot a little further behind and try again. Remember to always keep the back of your leg as straight as possible and your heel flat on the ground. You should perform this stretch 3 times, each time holding the stretch for 20 seconds. When you have completed 3 stretches, replace the back foot to the starting position and put the other foot backwards about a step length, and repeat the stretch 3 times for 20 seconds each. You have now completed the calf stretching exercises. You should have completed 3 repetitions of a 20-second stretch on each leg. Remember to keep the back leg straight and the heel of the back foot flat on the ground during all of the stretch. Also, remember to keep your hips, knees, and toes pointing forwards and square to the wall at all times. Well done! You have now completed the FootHold foot and ankle exercise program. Please try and do your exercises 3 times per week. You may experience some muscle soreness or stiffness from doing your exercises, especially after the first time or any time you increase the number of repetitions. This is normal with any strengthening program. However, if the muscle soreness or stiffness makes it uncomfortable to continue with the exercises, stop doing them for a couple of days before starting again. If the soreness does not improve after 48 hours, or if the soreness interferes with your sleep or ability to stand or walk, stop all exercises and contact your therapist.